Hey everyone, welcome to Brick Vault. This is the LEGO Top 10 Mocks of the Week episode that we do every single Sunday. Basically, these are just some cool builds that I happened to see and I wanted to share with you guys. And also remember to stick around for the end of the video where you guys, the fans, submitted your pictures of your LEGO mock creations. And if you would like to submit pictures of your own mock to us for next Sunday's video, please check out in the description below for the proper email to send that to. Sometimes people send pictures to us on Facebook. If they don't show up in the episode, it's not like I don't want to post your pictures. It's because I just simply forget to check the Facebook messages sometimes on Saturday, and then they just get forgotten or left out. So please send it to the proper email. We never like to turn away anybody's creations. It's all about expressing yourself. But anyways, let's get right into it with the number 10 mock of the week. This is a throwback to classic space. Now, it is done on a 32 by 32 base plate, so it is kind of like a modular building. I suppose you could set it up like that in a LEGO City if you wanted. And I know the builder had some sort of concept of this in their mind, because you can see the picture has been rendered out a few times with the LEGO Creator design in the back. Very much like it was an actual modular set. But the building technique is awesome. The roofs and tiles and walls and everything can kind of be folded apart and taken and opened up. This is always a lot of fun because displaying the mock is a lot easier, and there's way more details that the initial person checking this build out can actually notice. Generally speaking, there's a lot of fun details that are very intricate that are somewhat hidden in a simple space or simple concept. I like the build a lot. The original builder was Chris Yu, and let's move on to number 9. This here is a Mad Max build, specifically the car Plymouth Rock by Jones Cram. Now, Mad Max LEGO mocks are very, very common, but this particular Plymouth Rock build is definitely the less attempted vehicle that I've seen, at least recently, and I think this is, in my personal opinion, the most valid attempt of creating this awesome spiked car. The initial model or shape from the vehicle is based on an actual Plymouth, I think from the 1930s, and of course in this desert wasteland it has been modified into some sort of porcupine-esque fighting machine. I think the builder here managed to sort of marry the concept of showing off the frame of the vehicle so it's very recognizable, but also including a lot of really big and jagged spikes. They're a different color and stuff. I think that was a great sort of smart decision. Makes the car almost feel like the spikes are teeth or horns or something like that. And anyways, I think a lot of people were avoiding this particular vehicle from Mad Max because it's not as easy to make look awesome like some of the other ones, but this guy managed to pull it off pretty well. Let's move on to number 8. This here is Edoras by Mello. This is the town I think we've seen in Middle Earth, and honestly, I didn't know that or recognize that. Perhaps it does look similar to a scene or two that I remember seeing from the Lord of the Rings films, but honestly, it's just a wonderful standalone micro scale build. There's a great use of different sort of diverse pieces to make the things, the buildings look like they're still made out of wood, with a combination of cone pieces, those 1x2s that have the sort of log indentation, and then just regular flat bricks. It's wonderful that our builder managed to get a lot of these buildings offset, probably by sitting on top of some tiles and jumper pieces. That would be my assumption. And altogether, I think the buildings fit very well within the sort of rocky and shrubbed environment down below. This builder is no stranger to micro scale architecture. Also, if you check out this guy's Flickr, there's a ton of random kind of cool stuff. Definitely a lot of different build styles. A lot of fun to kind of mosey through the galleries. And let's check out build number 7. This is Throne Room of Cedrica by the builder Henjin Quilones. This is actually a reimagining of a previous mock built by another builder, but it sets up a wonderful scene, of course, within a throne room, and there's just a lot of really, really nice details to notice. Personally, what I absolutely love about this build is the way the builder implemented the stained glass window looked behind the actual throne. It looks wonderful. It seems like so obvious, but I haven't honestly seen this particular attempt that is using the hollow area of the 2x2 jointed piece, that is using the hollow base part of the 2x2 swiveling piece as sort of the black intermediary spots between the chipped and broken stained glass pieces. Now that I'm looking at it, it seems like such an obviously good choice to make, and guaranteed somebody has probably done this in another mock before. I just personally haven't seen it, and I think it's awesome, but I've already spoken too much. So let's move on to number 6. Here we are looking at the LEGO Iron Giant, appropriately so, built by the creator Obedient Machine. Now, a lot of people have created the Iron Giant in LEGO before, but I haven't seen him created in such a small scale. He's still so recognizable with very thin areas of certain limbs, while his forearms and shins and feet are much, much wider, and I think think, exaggerated somewhat at the scale, but it makes it for a really great recognizable build, and something that I think a lot of builders might have fun trying to attempt because it really is not very part intensive, or it certainly doesn't look that way. Now you can see within the context of the build, this is also the Iron Giant as a statue. He's built on top of a stand that has a plaque beneath, and this is a little build that I wouldn't mind trying to attempt myself in the LEGO Studio, maybe sometime next week, just for fun. Next build here is called Speeder Car by Nesser Neo Geo. As far as I can tell, this build looks like it only exists in LEGO Digital Designer, but what we have is a very interesting concept design for a speeder vehicle, and the builder has really managed to showcase the transformative function of the propulsion jets at the bottom, and it makes for a wonderful looking machine. Also, the cockpit that can fold open on both the front and back is a wonderful design choice, and this seems like a very specific character. I'm not entirely sure if this is based on a person or a show or a cartoon or something like that. It really looks like it could be. If this is based on a guy that you've seen from a TV show, let me know in the bottom below in the comment section. But either way, I think this is just a really, really cool looking vehicle, and our builder really knocked it out of the park. All right, moving right down the list at number 4, this is a build by Goal Plays with Lego, a builder we've featured many times before in the past. This is the nano figure scaled AT-AT. You guys might know that here at BrickVault, we're big fans of this particular vehicle. We've got it existing in many different sizes, but this nano figure scaled one is a particular size that we do not have, and it is awesome. Not only does the AT-AT look excellent, but you can see that the builder has set up a fun little display of some small snow speeders taking it down. The snow speeders also look like custom mock builds, not quite the same as we've also seen in nano scale size before. And ultimately, this is a wonderful little build that I think we would really love to have in the studio. Now, number 3 is actually 3 different builds. A particular builder, Ian Heath, has just made a bunch of great things, or released a bunch of great things on his Flickr this week. Before, we have featured the Rejects Series 1 in the past. Now this is Rejects Series 2 with the Disney princesses. Rejects is actually referring to the Brickheads Rejects, assuming that these are designs that LEGO theoretically did not approve. But as you can see, they're just ridiculous characterizations of some of your favorite Disney princesses. Personal favorite here is Ariel, and then this same week there's also pictures for the Rejects Series 3, which is based on Star Wars. A New Hope he has in parentheses there, which means we might be getting some characters from maybe some of the other Star Wars movies, like Strikes Back might be coming out for Series 4. We have no idea. Anyways, Ian Heath has been making some cool builds like this, and I hope Rejects never stops coming out. By the way, Shagadelic Baby was another one of his builds. We've got Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. Great characterizations. I like the builds a lot. And anyways, number 3 is just all of these builds. These are all number 3. Now, number 2 might have some sort of nostalgic influence on me, but we're really looking at an incredible build. This is Mr. Bean's home. Specifically, I think this is having to do with the old Christmas episode. So maybe there's some Easter eggs sort of hidden about the builds that are references to specific episodes or specific moments, really, which of course, if you're a longtime fan of the show, you can definitely spot pretty easily. But despite there just being a lot of sort of nostalgia factors, there's tons of great building choices that are thrown in here, which is part of the reason why I just absolutely love this build. I mean, we've got a hot dog piece used as the phone. You can see a bucket handle used as part of that mousetrap in the corner. The antenna for the top of the TV is made with just a lever piece, but he managed to just pull the lever out and kind of jam it in there halfway. Also, you might have noticed that the entire flooring is that great side plated technique we've seen before in the past. It makes for the coolest looking hardwood floor effect you could, I think, ever achieve for minifig scale floors or buildings. And yeah, I just think this thing wins completely with a lot of nostalgia points, of course, but just wonderful building techniques on top of it. Now, number 1 is a certain type of build. At least the genre of this build is something that I rarely include in a top 10 list, and I never thought I'd actually be putting at the very top of the list. This is a build called Whiffy 2017 by the builder Flavio. And by genre, I mean just sort of like a mech build or some sort of animatronic robot. But what's so cool cool about this Lego build is it really doesn't look like it's made of Lego. This looks like it could be a plastic model. It looks like it could be some other sort of plastic model with a different kind of style altogether. Of course, looking at it close up, you can see where the Lego fits in, but every single connection point here is so unconventional that it becomes almost impossible for me to really start pointing out specific things that I really like, because everything is different, everything is new. And when you look through this builder's Flickr, it feels like every mock there's some sort of new technique implemented that I never would have thought of. And even this build here, Whiffy Coma, with some extra sort of added detailing to make the robot look a little bit more weathered, it honestly doesn't look like Lego at all, but guess what? That is all Lego. Can't wait to see what comes out next from this guy, and I can't believe that I never knew about him before. Anyways, that's it for the top 10 section of the episode. Now at the end, I'm gonna show you guys all of the fan mock creations. Anybody can send stuff into us. All we really ask is that you send it to the proper email so we don't accidentally lose it. All right, I'm done here. Check out the fan stuff and check out the links in the description below to either see what these other builders are up to, or of course, send in your own mock creations. All right, thanks and see you later.